Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of BadgerBlitz TV. I'm Jake Kokorowski, senior writer at BadgerBlitz.com. Of course, your home for all things Wisconsin Badgers recruiting, football, and basketball. A lot going on, a lot of craziness. We're counting down to the early signing period, National Signing Day, on the recruiting trail for football, basketball too, for that matter. But then also Wisconsin now in basically control. You can call it controlling its own destiny on the football field there with what they've done so far, and basketball's kicking up too. But we're talking recruiting. This is our weekly recruiting spotlight. I am joined by J.T. Seagreaves. JT, did I get the last name pronounced correctly? Being last name Kokorowski, I always like making sure I got the last name pronounced right.
Yeah, you got it pretty well, Seagreaves. So
Seagreaves, awesome.
Good job.
I'm trying. Kokorowski. What I should be doing is actually asking you before we record. But the beauty of recording a live stream is always fun. When it comes to first off, thanks for joining the show. We're having a lot of fun on this, and we've talked to Miles Burkett, we've talked to Tommy McIntosh beforehand. I want to go through, you're not going to be able to see this on the live stream, but right now we're going through a couple of your touchdowns from, I think it was the East Troy game earlier this year, and you're catching a 14-yard touchdown pass. You ran for 3 others, a big game there. I want to go through just some of these stats because these are popping out to me right off the bat. And you're looking at that. You're looking at, you committed on June 21st of this year. You officially visited UW on the 17th. On top of that, your stats: 109 carries, 1,098 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 receptions, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 50 tackles, 6 sacks, and 1 interception on the other side of the ball. Credit WisSports.net and our friends there. Shout out to Travis there. But how's your senior season going so far? Seems like it's going pretty well.
Yeah, it's been going great. I feel a lot more involved with the team because we run a wing T offense, and a lot of the time I was spread out at the X. Sometimes they bring me in to play some tight end, whatnot, but now I feel like I'm really in all the action playing running back.
With that too, I guess my question to you on that, when it comes to that, JT, is just, you talk about wing T offense. Just how are you utilized now? Where John had on his video clip tight end, running back, and then I think defensive end on that end. But how does your team utilize you at the moment?
They like to get me in space and follow blockers, and we spread out the ball quite a bit with 3 different running backs with the wing T offense, and so that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of different plays.
I would say within that too, JT, how do you feel you've made a jump between your junior year and this year, where you're seeing these stats pop out in rushing the ball and whatnot? But just what areas do you feel you've made big jumps in your game as a football player?
I feel like, as I was talking about before, offensively, being more involved, whether it's like key blocks or running the ball or even like fakes. I feel like I'm a lot more involved in the offense there. And then defense, I feel like I was pretty involved last year, but that's kind of been similar.
I would say within that too, looking at the game coming up this week, it's going to be Jefferson. It's WIAA playoffs. It's Division III. It's level 3. How are you feeling about your chances going up against Jefferson and going on and hopefully potentially playing in Camp Randall Stadium earlier than getting to Madison as a college student athlete?
Yeah, no, it's all been great. The whole playoffs been very exciting, and we played Jefferson and we beat them earlier in the season, but obviously we're not going to overlook them, and we're just taking it one game at a time. So
I was going to ask you with that too. What's the frame you have right now in terms of height, weight, and how is it with your stature and your frame playing running back?
So it's been interesting playing running back at about 6'6", 220. I think I'm listed at 225, so somewhere in between there. But yeah, I've got to stay low, keep running my feet. I've learned a lot playing running back about like carrying the ball and different things and whatnot.
I'll say when it comes to that too, just Wisconsin, just making sure too, they're looking at you to play tight end, correct? In Mickey Turner's room.
Correct. Yeah.
I guess and with your recruitment and just how things have gone, just how did that relationship grow between you and Wisconsin?
So it started off just them reaching out. I think they watched my highlights, some basketball, some football. There weren't a ton of highlights for football because of how much the wing T offense and how much they throw the ball. But they saw some things they liked, so they reached out just telling me they wanted to get me to the camp. And then, yeah, after I went to the first day of the camp, they wanted to have me back, and it's just been growing stronger and stronger since then.
And say when it comes to, I guess the recruits, just for those that aren't seeing right now, I have a graphic up and this picture from I believe it was the Michigan game of you and Miles Burkett and Joe Brunner, the 4-star offensive lineman from Whitefish Bay, Tommy McIntosh as well. Just how's the bond been between not just you four, but all the commits for Wisconsin in this class currently?
I haven't talked a ton to all the commits, but the ones that I have, I really enjoyed talking to. They seem like really good guys, and most importantly, they seem like they really care about football and the next level and being successful.
I'd say who are the ones that you talk with the most? Is it mostly the in-state players?
Yeah, a lot of in-state guys, and Cade Yakimelli. I've talked to him a lot, and we might potentially be roommates when we get up there.
I was going to ask you about that once you get up here to Madison and whatnot. I guess with the relationship with Wisconsin, just how many times, I know you're in your season and Wisconsin's in their season, and they're trying to make their way back to Indianapolis, and that starts, of course, Saturday against Rutgers too, in terms of this stretch run in November. But just how many times are you chatting with the Wisconsin staff, and this, how are they talking to you, or who are you talking with?
Yeah, so from time to time, Coach Turner will give me a call, or like once a week, I'd say I text Coach Turner and Coach Herring, and they just wish me good luck on my game, and yeah, that's been great. And I know they're really busy with everything going on, so I'm fine with that.
And then I was gonna say, I know we talked about the tight end part, but how do they envision you within Wisconsin's offense right now when it comes to looking at, just the tight end position? And we've seen what Jake Ferguson can do this year, among a few others. But just how could they use you within the offense?
Well, I think they've talked a lot about me being a pass catcher because they have a lot of blocking tight ends. But I feel like I could develop my game and really do anything at the tight end position.
When it comes to you having that, being mostly a running back right now compared to being a tight end, or being in more pass catching situations, and for that matter, I'm a former wing T quarterback back about 25 years ago, so I had more interceptions than completions, so I wasn't a very good one at that at the JV level. But I guess when you have just how do you feel that with the tight end position, how you can grow as a pass catcher, and what have you been able to do at the high school level?
So I've done a lot of spread out wide at X, as I was saying.
Yeah.
So getting some routes there, and then this year, actually some play action stuff. I've gotten to catch from the wing position, and I feel like that's helped develop my game some too. Like if I'm blocking and then I go out for a pass afterwards, but I know there's still a lot for me to learn at the tight end position, so I'm excited to do that.
I'd say, I guess for that matter too, when you get to that, JT, just how do you envision this 2022 class, finishing out where, early signing periods in December? I know the official date is in the first, Wednesday of February, but just how do you foresee this class of 2022 commits and, panning out in the end?
I feel like we're going to have a pretty good class, and all the guys that have committed so far I've liked, and I just think they're all great guys. And hopefully we can get some of the other guys, some of the in-state guys, and that'd be pretty great. But, no pressure on anybody to come. If they want to come, then they'll come, and we want to have them if they want to be here.
Absolutely. And, folks, I'm looking through a few of your stats. We're going to go back to your high school stats real quick because I looked at wisports.net's, just your game logs, man. 3 straight 150-yard plus rushing performances heading into this matchup on Friday. You also ran for 162 yards on 10 carries, plus 7 tackles in your last game against Greendale, plus an interception. And then on top of that, you have 5 100-yard rushing efforts in 11 games, to date heading into this week's matchup too. Just, I guess one more question before we get into the quick hitters. In your eyes, what do you like best about being in that wing T offense right now?
The more I learn about the wing T offense, the more I grown to like it, and there's a lot of different things we can do with it, a lot of different fakes, and if the defense is doing one thing, we'll go to another thing to like counteract that, and I really enjoy that kind of style.
And then, I guess with as we wrap up this, I would say quick hitters. Just how many sports do you play, and was football kind of your first love?
Kind of. It was between football and basketball. I think I started both of them in like 4th grade, and I've played both of them all the way since. And I started track in 7th grade up to this year, and I play other sports outside of that, but those are the 3 main ones.
And so with track, did you get any interest from collegiately from the other sports?
Yeah, I got a couple D2 offers for basketball, and that was before the D1 like free period for teams to even come watch, or I committed before the free period. So who knows? Maybe I would have got more looks, but I'm happy with the decision I made.
And then I would say I always ask the recruits this: favorite workout music. You get into the zone. What are you? Or not even workout music. What's the song or songs that you're listening to before a game to get ready for your for the matchup? Especially like let's say coming up Friday against Jefferson.
I listen to a lot of different stuff. I like any rap music. I listen to. Our team listens to a lot. I like rock and stuff. I think our coaches get into it too, and everybody will be singing along and getting pumped. So that's pretty exciting.
I'd say, I know you're in state. I'm not going to assume you're a Packers or a Bucks fan, but who are your favorite sports teams? That you follow.
So, I'd say I like both the Packers and the Bucks, but also my dad is from Pennsylvania, so I also kind of like the Steelers a little bit. And yeah, I watch some other teams. I watch a lot of different teams, but those are probably some of my most favorite teams.
I know right now you play mostly running back on offense, and I know you split out here and there. But is there a player or players that you try to mold your game after?
Ooh, I wouldn't say there's a specific player that I'd like to mold my game after because there's a lot of different stuff I do, as you said, and I just like being versatile and taking from whatever player I can. But it did feel pretty good after I got a couple long touchdown runs. I'd be thinking, oh, Derrick Henry, big back. But I wouldn't say I'm too much like him.
And last question for you. What's coming next for you in terms of, are you going to enroll early or are you going to wait till the summer to get to Madison? And what are your plans currently to get to, for when you arrive as a college student athlete?
As of now, I'm planning on going in the summer and finishing my senior year first. I'll probably run track again. Our 4x2 team got second place state, so hopefully we can go back and get first.
And then I was going to say too, I get one last question for you. When it comes to track, what does track do for you as a football player and how it helps you grow, even basketball for that matter? Like what do those sports do for you as a football player?
Well, at the very least, it's conditioning, and I'd like to think that a lot of the form running and stuff like that we do helps a lot with my speed and my explosiveness, whether it's jumping or just taking off out of a block or what. Yeah.
And say, JT, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, looking forward to, when you get up here to Madison in terms of being able to cover you next fall camp, which I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself because you still have some playoff games, playoff game going forward along with, sports and whatnot. And of course, Wisconsin still has a couple of seasons for football, basketball, all that stuff. But thanks so much for making time for us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And folks, that was, again, J.T Seagreaves. Again, make sure for this show, follow us, subscribe on this channel, give us a thumbs up as well. For that, it helps build our brand further. Follow us on Twitter at JCoco for me. And of course, for BadgerBlitz, it's at Badger_Blitz. Like us on Facebook. Search Wisconsin Badgers on BadgerBlitz.com. We'll have more coming up this week, talking Wisconsin Badgers, obviously Wisconsin Rutgers, and much, much more. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later this week.